channel Penny Silly Thoughts. In this video, I'll take you to Munich. Before coming to Munich, I was actually in Prague for 2 weeks with European Summer School. If you haven't checked my Prague video yet, I'll put a card here, so make sure to check it out. I'll also put links to top things to do in Prague and my experience with European Summer School in the description box below. My initial plan before coming to Europe was to just go to Prague, Vienna and Budapest and keep it a relaxed, laid-back vacation. But then as I talked to more people, they suggested a week in Vienna and a week in Budapest are a little too much and I can actually accommodate other places in it. So now my itinerary looked something like from Prague to Munich to Salzburg to Bled, then to Vienna and then to Budapest, from where I had my flight back to India. I'll admit that Munich was a completely random choice. Nobody actually came forward and suggested, oh, you should go to Munich. But okay, somehow I managed to go to Munich. Main reason was the tickets were a little cheaper and second, it was closer to Salzburg, which was going to be my next stop. So I booked a bus with Leo Express and it only operates on weekends, and which is why I think it was cheaper than Flixbus, which is the normal bus service that people use in Europe. It took around 4 hours 40 minutes to reach Munich from Prague, and the best part of the ride was of course the beautiful scenic views, greenery everywhere and the sun is setting, just a perfect blissful moment for me. Perfect with this. I actually literally feel bad for not taking pictures or videos of the hostel, but it was one of the best hostels I've stayed in. It was Bombard's hostel. Just check it out online, and it was like a huge party place, but the staff was also very cordial and the rooms were clean, the hostel was clean. So I reached my hostel late at night, so I couldn't do a lot of things. Instead, I just made a plan out what my days are going to be like. The next day, I woke up a little early to cover a few places before I met a friend of mine who I met at European Summer School, and he's actually from Munich, so he offered me to show the city, which was, I think, amazing. Thanks, Nico, for that. The highlights of day 1 were Marienplatz, Nymphenburg Palace and Olympia Park. Marienplatz is a central area with a lot of new markets and showrooms. You can actually spend time walking and shopping for yourself. Also has a lot of old architecture and intricate structures and statues. A lot of historic places in that area, so you can visit all of them or most of them while you're there. Palace was a beautiful palace with gardens surrounding it. fun fact, Munich is full of gardens, so you'll see a lot of them in this video. There was garden on first day, I went to garden on the second day, and I went to garden on the third day. It is complete gardening city. You can actually find statues of the Roman era. The architecture there is just so gorgeous. There was Olympia Park, which was a huge stadium with a large seating space. It was actually built for 1972 Summer Olympics. I think it's still used for a lot of events. We climbed atop a hill, just sat there and watched the sun go down while we enjoyed the city views. The next day I was really glad that the sun was finally out and Munich, which has been really cold since the last day, was finally having warmer temperatures. It was a Monday and most of, or I think all of the museums are closed on that day in Munich. I didn't really know that, so I planned to visit actually two museums that day. First one was Jewish Museum. Of course it was closed, but it was a time well spent because the walls of the museum actually had a conversation between a book writer and a Jewish person, which was an interesting read. After that I went to Alte Pinkothek, which is one of the largest art galleries in the world. I hope that it will be open, but it was closed, so I just sat outside in the gardens. I took a nap under the sun. I waited for Nico to come and we had actually planned to visit a cafe in his university. The cafe had amazing views of the city. So this cafe is the go-to for good city views other than Olympia Park. After that, we decided to go to Dachau, which is a small city just outside of Munich. It actually doesn't have a very good history. It was used as a concentration camp to hold Jews and other political leaders as prisoners. So I would say you must go there and pay tribute to the victims of the time. We actually went to the Dachau Gardens, which is the happy part of the city. Gardens were really gorgeous and you can actually look at the Alps from a distance, and it was a pretty amazing. After spending some time there, we went back to Munich and met another friend of ours from the European Summer School. So you guys might or might not know that Munich is famous for its annual beer festival, Oktoberfest. It hadn't started yet, but it was crazy to see the amount of preparations being done for a fest that was going to happen in another 1 month. We went to an Indian restaurant for dinner and it was pretty amazing. The food was really good and it was quite in budget, so you guys should definitely go there if you seek Indian food. On the third day, I was actually joined by Flo, the other friend from European Summer School who I met on my second day, and he joined me to the National Documentation Central Museum, which is a lot of history about Munich and Germany in general. The museum, though it was quite informational, but it wasn't very interactive. After that, we were joined by Nico and we went to a Chinese tower beer garden. So it is very common in Germany and in Munich to go to a beer garden with your friends and chill there, order beer and snack with them and have a good time with your loved ones. I was finally able to have a vegetarian German authentic cuisine, a pasta cheese dip and a pretzel, and I also tried Kaiser Schmarrn, which is often served during Oktoberfest but is actually an Austrian delicacy. It is a must-try taste charm with the apple dip, which I was initially doubtful of. I would actually give a 7 on 10 to a pretzel with pasta dip and a 10 on 10 to the dessert. That was all about Munich. I went to Salzburg after that and I'll share a video of that as well very soon. But अभी मेरा वीडियो देखने के लिए
बहुत शुक्रिया।
If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends who are planning a trip to Europe or Germany. I'll also put the link to my Prague video here. Subscribe to my channel for more content and I'll see you really soon. Bye!